Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who will will. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. It's your brother Shamarnia, and today I just want to go into give a little bit of lesson about the ICBM missiles because it was pondering upon my mind. I was thinking about it, but us in the truth, we know that two major prophecies have to play out before our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai comes back. One of them being the MOTB, and the second one being the ICBM missiles that's going to hit the Earth. So, first precept I want to bring out is Isaiah 8:20, and it reads, "To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them." Meaning, to the law and to the testimony, if they do not teach what is according to the scriptures, this Bible, they have no understanding, and the light is not in them. And another thing we have to ask is, what is the testimony? So, bringing it out in Revelation 19 and 10, and it reads, "And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren, that I have the testimony of Yahweh Shai, worship power, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy." So the testimony of the Yahweh Shai is spirit of prophecy. Another precept that comes to mind is John 16. But only the servants and the prophets are going to have the spirit, be able to have the spirit of prophecy. We can get that in Amos 3 and 7. And it reads, "Surely the Lord thy power will do nothing but revealeth his secrets to his servants, the prophets." So only the servants and the prophets will understand and will be able to break down these scriptures and prophecy by the means of the Rakakodash, the Holy Spirit. So I just wanted to bring that out first. Now the precept I want to come to now is Isaiah 24 and 18. And it reads, "And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in a snare, for the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake." So when it's talking about the noise of the fear, and then verse 18, that's referring to them ICBM missiles that will soon come. You can get that in 2 Peter. This perfect precept is perfect on backing this up. 2 Peter 3 and 10. And it reads, "But the day of Yahweh Shai, but the day of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt up with fervent heat, and the earth also, and the works that therein shall be burnt up." Meaning that everything that you see here, once them ICBM missiles hit and start to the explosion starts to spread, everything that you see is going to be made utter desolate. It's not going to be no more anything here. Like it says in the scriptures, the Babylon will be made desolate. That's the future of what's happening. It's going to happen to Babylon. So the next precept I want to bring out is Isaiah 9 and 5 actually, because this is going to also back up 2 Peter 9 and 5. And it reads, "For every battle of the warrior is with a confused noise, and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and a fuel of fire." So meaning back in the ancient days, all the wars, they used to be fought with swords, spears, bows. They used to also have battle cries. But in today's world, how we fight with war, it'd be with guns and military grade weapons, missiles. So that's what that confused noise means. So going back to Isaiah 24, Salakia. Isaiah 24 and 18. Just read this over again. And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit. Meaning, so when it says shall flee into the pit, that's talking about the elites, because they feel like they have the idea in their head that they're going to be able to escape their judgment that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua will bring upon them, but that's not going to happen. We can get that in Isaiah 2 and 19. Bring that out. And another precept in Revelation, bring that out too. 2 and 19. And it reads, and they shall go into the holes of the rocks and into the caves of the earth for the fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, for the glory of his majesty, when he arises to shaketh terribly the earth. See, they have that idea in their head that they're going to be able to go into their bunkers and escape the judgments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and try to come back up and start anew, but that's not going to happen. Another precept backing this up is Revelation 6 and 12 to 15. 6 and 12, 15. And it reads, I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she shaken the mighty wind. This is talking about them ICBM missiles. Continuing on, and it reads, the heavens departed as a scroll, and when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth, and the great man, and the rich man, and the chief captains, and the mighty man, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens of the rocks of the mountains. See, that they're at least going to, they feel like they're going to be able to escape their judgment, but that's not happening. So, I'm gonna go back to this. I'm gonna get to the point. Next precept I want to bring out is Jeremiah 51. Jeremiah 51 and 1. And it reads, thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, behold, I will rise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. So that mighty wind that was talked about in Revelation 6 and I believe verse 13, that destroying wind in this chapter, that's talking about the blast radius from the ICBM missiles. We can also get that in Revelation 7, showing how the angels is holding back the four winds, which meaning that destruction to come. 7 and 1. And it reads, and after these things I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that destruction has to come. And the wind shall not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. So that's what's happening right now. When World War III comes, them missiles they're gonna come and make this America desolate. So the next precept I want to go back. We want to go back to Isaiah, because it's another point I want to bring out. Isaiah 24 and 19. And it reads, and the earth is utterly broken down, the earth is clean dissolved, the earth moved. It's like the earth is moved exceedingly. So meaning when it says that the earth will move, that's because them ICBM missiles. But just because the ICBM missiles are going to hit, it doesn't mean that the earth will end. We know that the earth, there's no end to the earth. We can get that in Ecclesiastes to back up the point. 1 and 4, I believe. And it reads, one generation passes away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. So just because we know that the ICBM missiles are going to hit, and they're going to make like places like America and that place where those fakes, they're going to make desolate, but the earth is going to still be able to survive. It's still going to still be here. Going back to Isaiah 24. Salakia. Isaiah 24 and 19. 20 actually. And it reads, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. Meaning that the earth will be reeled to and fro like a drunkard because of the ICBM missiles. That power that when it hits the earth, the places that it needs to hit, it's going to feel like the earthquake is throughout the whole earth. So next precept I want to bring out is actually in the second address. Second address 16 and 12. We'll start at verse 12. And it reads, the earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof, and the sea ariseth up from the waves of the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord, before the glory of his power. Verse 13, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, and his arrows that shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Meaning that when he bendeth the bow, those are talking about them silos, and those are arrows. Let's talking about them ICBM missiles, because any regular arrow is not going to be able to be shot off from America or to Russia or from China all the way to Alaska. Those are clearly talking about ICBM missiles. You got to think in perspective, like back when they was writing the account, they had to describe it in terms that they knew best. So going back to Revelation 15. Revelation 15, we'll start at like 1 at the top. And it reads, and I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of the Most High. And in verse 2, and I saw it, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of the name, stand on the sea of glass, having harps of the Most High. So when they talking about that sea of glass, that's talking about the firmament. And the elect, when it's talking about them that gotten the victory over the beast, that's talking about the elect that gotten the victory of the beast over NATO and EU, his image, the ancient Roman times, that's like the ancient Roman empires, his laws and philosophy, the mark, the RFID microchip, and the elect will be in the chariots looking down on the destruction that's coming to the planet Earth with Babylon the Great. So they're gonna be above the firmament, watching as these missiles drop. Next precept I want to bring out is the next chapter. Actually, we can start at. We'll start at 1. Revelation 16, and I heard a great voice out of the temple, saying to the 7 angels, go your ways, and pour out the vials of the wrath of the Most High upon the earth. And the first went out, and poured out his vial upon the earth. And there fell a noisome and grievous sword upon men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which had worshipped the image. So that when it says that noisome and grievous sword, that's the sword, that cancerous pus that people are going to get when they receive that not the ICBM, but that MOTB. And plus, why would you want to have something like that in your body anyway? Something that's that gives off radiation. To make sense. 16 and 3, we'll read it. The second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as blood of a dead man, and every living soul died in the sea. So a precept actually that to back this up is Revelation 8 and 3. Revelation 8 and 7 actually. Slovakia. And it reads, the first angel sounded, and there followed a hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth, and the third part of the trees were burnt up, and all the grass was burnt up. So when it's talking about the third part of the creatures, that's talking about Esau, Edom, because you know that it's three classifications of men. You got the son of God, which are the Israelites, the son of man, which are the other heathen nations, and then you have the son of the wicked, which is the Edomites. That's that third part. I'm gonna go down to verse 10. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from the heaven, burning as a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the heaven, and upon the fountains of the water. When it says it's like a part of the rivers, that rivers are water. That's talking about men. So next precept I want to bring out is Revelation 7:17 actually. 17 and 15. And it reads, And he saith unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations. And we know that whore that's talking about in verse 15, that happens to be America. Yeah, just the way that America's philosophy is, the way of life. That great whore that sitteth upon the dragon, that's just talking about America. So going back to Revelation 8 and 11. And it reads, and the name, we'll read 10 just to go back. And it reads, And the angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp. And it fell upon the third part of the rivers, and upon the fountains of waters. Talking about the ICBM missiles hitting these Edomites. And it reads in verse 11, it says, And the name of the star called Wormwood, and the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. So when it's talking about wormwood, that's talking about that the radiation from the missiles will cause the waters to become bitter and poisonous. So things of that nature. Next precept I want to bring out is Job, actually. Job 20. And 20 and 19. We'll start right there. And it reads, Because he hath oppressed, and he hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away the house which he built not. So everywhere these Edomites went, they literally have taken over the land, conquering. Verse 20, Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly, he shall not save of that which he desire. Meaning, when Esau is about to establish his NWO, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua will send his judgments towards them and stopping everything. They won't fulfill what they're trying to seek. Continue reading. There shall none of his meat be left, therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. That's what I'm back to what I was saying. When these Edomites seek to establish the NWO, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua will put an end to that. Verse 24, He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him. So meaning when it says that, they're like I said previously in the lesson, they're going to try to escape their judgment. Verse 25. It's like it. And it is drawn and cometh out of the body, yet the glittering sword cometh out of the gall, terrors upon him. And that glittering sword that's in verse 25, that's going to be talking about that ICBM missiles is going to hit. Next precept I want to bring out is Isaiah 34. So again, Isaiah 34. We'll start at verse 1 at the top. And it says, "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, and the world, and all the things that come forth it. For the indignation of Yahweh Shem Shai is upon all nations, his fury upon all of their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them, and he hath delivered them to the slaughter." Verse 3, "And their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood." So when it's talking about that, these melted with the mountain shall be melted with their blood. That's talking about the missiles. The missiles will melt their blood, melt their blood. Continuing on, and it reads, "And all the hosts of the heavens shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, and as a leaf falleth off the vine, and as a fallen fig from a fig tree." Verse 5, "For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon them, and upon the people of my curse to judgment." So this is talking about the sword in Job 20 and 25, and the Malachi 4 and 1. That, because we know that modern day sword, like I said previously in the lesson again, that modern day sword will be the missiles. So, last precept I want to bring out is Isaiah 54. Isaiah 54, start at 16. And it reads, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth the instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy." So this verse is basically talking about how Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai has given Esau, Edom, scientists and the thought and the ideas to develop weapons. The weapons that they have now. First person that comes to mind is Oppenheimer. Because first we all know that there's no such thing as free will. Proverbs 20:24. So Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai gave these Edomites the idea to come up with such a weapon. But ultimately, in the end, it's because that weapon that they created, is going to be turned against them. So with that, I want to say Shalom. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Kakodash. Again, I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.